Hi, I'm Julie with Tree of Life Yoga and Wellness. Today I'll be doing a 7-pose sequence to help boost your immunity. So this yoga video goes along with a blog post that I've written, Boost Immunity with Yoga. You can find my post on my website, treeoflifeyogamontrose.com. Let's get started. Our first pose will be Bhaktasana or Balasana. So that's either child's pose or devotional pose. They're just different variations of the similar pose. So let me show you both and you can decide which one you prefer. From table position, you sit the hips back over the heels. The knees can be together or they can be wide apart, so you can choose. For Bhaktasana, the arms are extended, and you bring the forehead down to the mat. And rest here. And if you want to come into child's pose, you can bring the arms alongside the body and bring the forehead to the mat. And let the arms rest. And for either one of these poses, you can use a block or a blanket underneath the forehead if that makes the pose more comfortable. So find which one you like best and let's come into the pose for at least 5 breaths. Breathe into the back body. And just let the body relax. And when you've done as many as you like, let's press up into table. Ready for our next poses, cat-cow. So these are actually 2 different poses that are frequently performed together. So from table, on an inhale breath, drop the belly toward the floor, lift the tail. Exhale, round into cat pose, pull the belly in. Inhale into cow, lift the gaze. Exhale, press into the palms. Inhale into cow, stretching through the front body. Exhale, round into cat pose, strong belly. Moving back and forth with the breath. Exhale into cat, stretching through the back body. So you can do 5 to 10 of these. It's really a great pose and feels wonderful. So after our cat-cows, we'll move into cobra or sphinx pose. So we'll lower down onto our bellies. And I'll demonstrate both and you can decide which one you prefer. So sphinx is performed with the elbows right underneath the shoulders, and you're pressing down into the forearms, active through the legs and the feet, shoulders down away from the ears. So this variation is a little bit milder back bend and not quite as intense as cobra. So let me show cobra, and you can try this one, see if you like it. Hands alongside the body, you bring the chest down to the floor. I'm going to zip my legs together. Inhale, press into the hands, lift the chest, hug the elbows into the sides of the torso. Keep the elbows slightly bent. Shoulders down away from the ears, active through the legs and the feet. And you'll notice this is a deeper back bend than sphinx pose, and a little more intense. And when you're ready to come out, Exhale, lower. Inhale, up through table. Next pose, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. From our table position, walk your hands forward about a handprint. Spread the fingers wide, press down into the palms. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, away from the hands. Let your head come between the arms. And if this is your first downward facing dog, you may want to pedal out the legs. So alternately pressing the heel down toward the mat, bending one leg and then the other. Just stretching out through the hamstrings. Feels good. And when you're ready to settle into your pose, lift the hips. You can let your knees can stay slightly bent if that helps you to keep length through the spine. It's not necessary for the heels to come to the mat or for the legs to be straight. Long spine. Breathing in and out through the nose. And you want to try to stay for at least 5 breaths, and you can always stay for more if you choose. And you're ready to come down out of Adho Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, lower the knees down toward the mat. Now I'll come to sit, my legs out in front of me. We're getting ready for a recline twist. Today I'm going to demonstrate this with 2 blankets. So I have one on each side. And come all the way down onto my back. Bring my arms out into a T position. And bring the knees in toward the chest. So during this pose, I want to keep my knees together, keep them squeezing together. And I want to keep my shoulders down on the mat at all times. So inhale. Exhale, bring the knees over to the side. So it's nice to have the blanket support here. Inhale, center. Exhale, knees to the side. Inhale. Exhale. Keeping the shoulders pressing down, getting a nice twist. Inhale. Exhale, knees to the side. So with the twist, squeezing the internal organs, squeezing out toxins, and letting fresh oxygenated blood flow back into the organs. Inhale. Exhale to the side. Having the blanket support helps make it a little easier to be able to keep the shoulders down, bringing the knees over to the side. If I were to bring my knees all the way over without the blanket there, my shoulder might pop up off the floor. So continue to do this pose 5 times to each side or more, up to 10, whatever you choose. And now let's bring the feet down to the mat and get ready for bridge pose. So I'm going to bring my arms alongside my body. My feet are about hip width distance apart. Heels are in close toward the hips. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, firm the belly. Press the back down into the mat. Inhale, press into the feet. Lift the hips up. Pressing up into bridge pose. Opening the chest. Now walk my shoulders in toward each other. Clasp the hands underneath the body if you can. Press down through the arms. And take 5 breaths here. Continue to press into the feet. Breathe into the center of the chest. Feel the chest open a little more with each inhale. And once you've taken your 5 breaths, Unclasp the hands and walk the shoulders wide and roll down on the exhale. And we're ready for our 7th and final pose in the sequence, which is Viparita Karani, or legs up the wall pose. So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about this pose, since I have another video dedicated to showing you how to do this pose and explaining more about it. I also have another blog post written about Viparita Karani that you can read at my blog. And again, my blog is treeoflifeyogamontrose.com. So when you come into legs up the wall, you can stay there for as long as you like. I recommend staying for at least 5 minutes, and you can build up time in the pose as you're able, or as you have the time. So thank you for joining me today for this series to boost your immunity with yoga. Try to practice this sequence, at least 3 to 4 times a week to boost your immunity for this fall and winter season. Namaste.